Welcome back, summoners, to another RiftGuides WildRift video. We have an ongoing giveaway and all you have to do is visit the Twitter page in the description below. Once you're there, just follow the instructions and then you'll be able to win 1 random skins out of 5. The winners will be drawn on the 6th of March. Before we hop into this video, let's talk about our question of the day. What do you think about Kayle as a champion? Let me know in the comments below. Now, obviously this is going to be a video on a champion that is not very popular, and for good reason, because this champion most of the time is just a flop. Her range isn't as big as it should be to make her a brutal carry, and her damage is also sometimes lacking. Nonetheless, there's one tool that makes her superior to other champions as we reach the hyper late game. An ability that makes an ally or yourself invulnerable to damage while they're able to dish out damage. If you combine this with a hyper carry, it gets really dicey for the enemy team to get anything done, and given the current climate in ranked, this champion will get into late game more often than it should. But for this specific video, we are going to talk about AD Kayle in the jungle role. Junglers are most of the time getting away with a lot of things they should never get away with because they're not forced to interact with other champions. They can farm the jungle and scale up, and then once they hit their power spikes, dominate the map. And with AD Kayle, you'll actually get to that point fairly often. So let's talk about the build. For your first item, you want Storm Razor for the attack speed, for the bonus damage and the slow. The next item afterwards is going to be Infinity Edge for more damage. After that, you'll have Solari to just add more burst to your rotation. After that, Navori Quick Blades for infinite cooldowns, and after this you can make the decision between Bloodthirst or any utility item you believe you need. For your boots, you'll most of the time go Gluttonous Greaves because you want the sustain for free. For runes, you want Kraken Slayer for the bonus damage with your auto attack cancel. You can also default to Lethal Tempo if you truly want to. For your Domination rune, you want Vampirism for more sustain. For your Resolve rune, Bone Plating because it's the most broken rune in the game. And for the Inspiration rune, it's Nimbus Cloak. You might also go for other runes, but Nimbus Cloak is probably the most consistent approach here. Other than this, it's Hunter Genius. And now let's take a look at the gameplay. On our quest to get a Zeri gameplay, we were forced to play multiple games because there was a few people that just, randomly locked in Zeri and we had no chance of picking it. As a consequence, I thought like, what about doing some Kayle stuff? And in this game, we're going to play Kayle Jungle, inspired by the true demons of solo queue. Is this the best pick? Surely not. Is it a fun one if you get the scale? Absolutely. But what is different compared to other Kayles? I'm going to go full AD and I'm going to have fun demolishing people. For Kayle Jungle, all I'll do is just full clear. Jungle camps are mine and I just need to eat them alive. And with the Jax on my team, I want to ideally path towards him, and if there's something possible to do, given there's a Cassidy in mid lane and I have a Vex, I can just pass by and enjoy my time. For this, I want to angle my champion in a way that allows me to hit both camps at this, both minions at the same time, and then just clear the camp neatly. Just making sure the cleave hits every single one and I can just enjoy my time and go through the jungle. Nothing too special so far. With this, I just hit the camp and hit the camp and hit the camp. Theoretically speaking, I could have smited or waited for my smite cooldown and then use my third ability for the bonus damage, which I do like here. And then that's it. Preferably, I can also use my first ability here to instantly leash it, as I do, to make it a little bit faster in my jungle roll and just keep on clearing. Now comes the delicate part. I'm pretty certain that you can get it consistently done to kite the raptors towards the next camp without losing your passive stacks. Because you see, I killed it a little bit too early when I can wait a lot longer and then reach this camp with full passive stacks. With full passive stacks, I would obviously clear this a lot faster because of the attack speed buff, and then just be accelerated in my own jungle. If there's also one thing that seems a little bit weird on Kayle, is that you lose a lot of HP. Due to this happening, and just seeing the potential window of mine, I'll just go for the crab. Because you see, the other crab is already gone on the minimap. Like you see, it's gone. Because of the ward that was placed. My Vex kills the mid laner, beautiful, and I can just keep on farming. Now I see that the enemy Diana is trying to kill my Vex and I'm just walking up. I'm just trying to fight. Just beat up this lovely Diana, and now my Vex has passive. She doesn't need to be afraid. She shouldn't have used her ability like this, because now she's completely out of range. And this is going to be such a tragedy, isn't it? However, my Vex could have saved me. She could have saved me if she played it with me, but she was afraid even though there's no way she can potentially die or possibly die. But that's fine, but now we have a problem. Look at the mid lane wave. As I'm pathing towards the blue buff, I will notice that the wave is absolutely in a bad spot. So I cannot go forward towards my blue buff because otherwise my Vex will die and the XP will be lost. So I have to go here. I have to share this with my Vex because otherwise my Vex will die. Now, angry as I am, I'll smite this away because you didn't help me and I'm just angry. Should I do this? Hell no. But it is what it is. My time is very valuable. Now, my Vex is recalling, the Cassin is trying to push it in, and I'll just soak the rest of the experience. It's completely fine. It's the best play available for me and I just need the gold. Now I can hit the Cassin in a few times, not that something changes by doing so, but I can just bully him. If he does a mistake, I'll just blast them, because I can just press R. They are full burst-centric champions, and with their burst-centric nature, I can just enjoy my time. A tragedy. What a tragedy, isn't it? Emotional flash, but it is what it is. With the fruit available, I can now make the choice either kill the Renekton, if it's possible due to range, or go towards my camps. My Jax, a true lovely gamer, allows me to just walk up. I can use my third ability and a ward to make it suit safe and now just push in the wave with my top laner. Very important to just play around waves constantly and make sure that the enemy just doesn't have a chance. Even if my Jax dies here, it's absolutely worth it, because we get way more gold. Now, with the full item spike available, I just go base and full clear again. Ideally, I start with my Crux again and then path my way upwards again towards my Jax, because it's a very reliable gank assistant and I'll have a great time. Not much that's gonna happen for the next few seconds. I'll just clear my jungle, look at potential gank opportunities, and that's it. No need to flip anything, because that's just too risky of a thing. I don't want to associate with bot lane. It's just too much of a gamble. They have no consistent thing for me to play off of. Zeri can just walk to a wall, the enemy Yuumi can Yuumi ult, the own Yuumi can also Yuumi ult, nothing will happen, waste of time. So, I clear my camps, this time my Kaitem's slightly better, maybe I'll be able to get my passive stacks. I do so, it's perfect. My Vex is trying to have a lovely fight. If I path better, I might be able to save her, but in all honesty, was it required? I don't think so. Now, the true blessing of this comes available. I can just ult my Jax, and it turns out to be way better than expected. In a perfect world, my Jax would already leave me alone because he doesn't need to help me and push his wave up there. Because I'll just break away and walk towards mid lane, clear the next incoming waves and place the Herald mid lane. I just want gold. I'm a little filthy goblin. Give me my gold and just be done with it. I don't know what Cassin is trying to think, but this is a major mistake. Number one, I'm not an AP Kayle, I deal a lot of damage. And number two, I have a Vex who can help me from super high range. Whenever your ally is a Vex and goes for these kind of plays, just walk up after her to make sure there's like some kind of backup. Even if you don't plan on committing, you can just be around to be a sort of backup. Now I have a lot of gold and I should not go for any proactive play unless I really have to. So what I can do though is maybe contest Scuttlecrab, go for like deeper wards and be done with it. Given, however, the spacing and space we created with wards and all our champions now, the enemy cannot really face check us. They have a Kassadin. And if they try to do so, they just get blown up and we can just turn around, turn on them, kill them, get objectives. It's completely up to us to decide. But in a realistic world, since I had so much gold, I should not have done this, because losing an Ocean Dragon is not worth losing the game. Like, it doesn't really matter. But now I'm filthy rich, and now I can go for my next item, which sadly isn't a completed item. So what is the best possible buy I can go for? I just go for Gluttonous Boots and some crit. The reason is the following. Gluttonous Boots grant Omnivamp here. And just having more sustain will help me, and I deal magic and physical damage alike. So it's something I really like having. And now I just basically full clear again. With my Jax coming back to the lane and no bigger objective on the other side of the map, I can just path towards my Jax and get this Renekton killed again. Like, I can maybe get a summoner spell out of him, I can just run at him. Don't forget, I have flash, I have slow smite, and I can just space him. I am also absolutely safe because I have my ultimate. You might be confused why I used ultimate there, but it's rather simple. The Renekton stunned me, and there's a Diana close to me. They might have the ability to instantly kill me if they use everything instantly. And now the enemy does something they should never do. Face check into the enemy jungle when you have seen that other people were around earlier. It just doesn't make sense. And now the Cassin is getting really, really too much for himself. Like, we have a lot of damage, because don't forget, I'm an AD Kayle, my auto attacks hurt quite a lot. Also, auto attack into my third ability into an auto attack procs Kraken Slayer, which is quite a lot of damage. Well, it looks kind of funny that the Diana can actually kill me, because my champion, if you get on top of me, is super weak if I don't have R. But well, it's to be expected, to be fair. Like, I don't have my ultimate, so, and she has hers, therefore her damage should be higher than mine. Seeing my items as you already do, like, I want to one-shot people. I want to crit them into the next game, and it's a fun thing. Going back to just farming, stealing my stealing the crap from Granix, making sure he knows who has the money. It's just perfectly amazing. In case you don't know what I'm constantly doing up here, Jax is my safest bet of getting things done. He will tank for me, and we'll just take everything down. Like, there's nothing that can stop us, because everything or everyone that tries to fight us will just die. Like, look at this. There's just no hope. Not the happiest that Yuumi took the kill, but it's not worth money anyway. And now we just enjoy our time here and we just blast him. Kind of the desync between us, because don't forget, he is a very tanky high DPS champion. And he can just jump in if he has the safety of my ultimate. Me, just leaving him alone now, I've had enough, I don't want to associate with this anymore. I'll go for my kind of things, enjoy yourself, and just farm jungle camps. But yeah, like, just in case something is possible to do, I just come back, just pan the camera and take a look. And if there's something to do, I'll do it. And if not, I'll just leave. I'll just take enemy jungle camps and get more gold that is absolutely secure and enjoy my time. What I can also do now is sit in the enemy jungle and wait for an enemy to approach me. Maybe, just maybe somebody's going to face check me and I can kill them. But now I have to be very careful. There might be a few people coming that I don't want to deal with. But given the nature of the game, they should be on Herald and not here. But for some reason, she is here. I get a lot of free spells and I can just walk it off. As long as I can make enough time to get away in terms of like ult cooldown, then I can safely say I can kill them. This recall position is very good for the enemy who would come through river or the enemy jungle, because they wouldn't spot me that easily with that recall. Now I have 3 items, it's time to get red buff, and then it's just running at enemy time. Basically what Chronix is doing on Jax. Just constantly run at enemies and just fist fight them, especially if you have ult. If you don't have ult, you probably have to be a little bit more conservative with how you play, but the moment you have access to your ult again, it's time. There's nothing that can stop you, and if your teammates is a high DPS champion that you can buff potentially, just walk at them. Fishing for whatever was with this ultimate, but I've had enough. I'll just one-tap the enemy by flashing over the wall because there's nothing they can do, and I'll enjoy my time fighting the Gromp until it eventually dies. The enemy is investing the second Herald for a tier 1 mid lane tower while I get second Dragon. Even if they get second tower mid lane, I don't necessarily think it's a really good trade for them. The reason for this is, the second dragon, in the form of the mountain dragon, he gives us a lot of resistances. Our Jax is already unbelievably fed. If we put the Yuumi on the Jax, he gets nearly unkillable. With that in mind, and the Kayle behind him, how do you deal with them? You just can't, and you just kill them. All I have to do is press ult, and then I just one-tap them. Like, look at them. my champion actually is able to hurt people if he is fed. And, well, AD spikes earlier, but AP spikes harder later. That's like kind of the trade-off. And if there's another issue with Kayle, it's her range. Like, it's probably too low for WildRift and should get increased, because look at this pathetic range. Like, I'm not even a ranged champion, am I? Like, if they increase this champion could have been, or would be, way better, but I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, because this champion is a problematic champion, simply because of her ultimate, and nice scaling because it keeps people safe. In fights, just make sure you space away from people when you're fighting the Diana, because what can she do? She jumps onto your allies, ults them, and then you die at the same time, which you want to avoid. And maybe you can get another kill, you can read the enemy's minds, they're like, okay, I'm gonna kill this poor little Kayle, you press ult, he jumps in, you kill him, and you enjoy your time. And that's it for today's video. If you want to play Kayle, do so with caution, it's fun, but your teammates will hate you. See you tomorrow, and leave a like and subscribe to the channel.